Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Dorton and Doetkott Debate Podcast here. Lukas Dorton here. We have a couple of fantastic Waterville Indians players here. Nolan Gross, Dalton Gross. How you guys doing?
Good. Feel a lot better right now.
Absolutely. Folks, I'm sorry that you couldn't come to see this game because that was an unbelievable one. 2-1 for the longest time. They ended up tying it up 2-2 there. Talk to me a little bit about that play that they did tie it up on. Obviously, kind of a delayed steal there. Ended up scoring. What was your mindset as they got that second run there?
It was obviously an unfortunate situation. I always try to be I'm more of an optimism guy. I always try to say, guys, it's going to be okay. We're the home team. We got another chance to bat. So I was a little more optimistic. Obviously, it's frustrating when they score a run that way. But like I said, I just tried to keep everybody's hopes up, keep your body language up. We're a good team. We're gonna get another chance to win it here.
And Dalton, you hit an absolute nuke. 2 weekends in a row now for you as well. Did this one feel like it was going out for you too?
It felt good. I did what I wanted with it, but it's such a deep park. I didn't know if I got all of it, but I haven't hit enough this year to not run out of the box. So
yeah, absolutely. And then they ended up getting a couple more, and then top of the 9, making it 4-2. One thing, I know chatting with Sam and chatting with you guys in the past too, is you guys do a lot of the little things right. And it felt like, bottom of the order, but it felt like anyone was really going to be able to do anything there with you. Sam Sueur with an absolutely clutch double to left field. And then tying it up, 4-4, heading to the 10th inning. Luke with a nice solid top of the 10th, getting you out of it. And then in comes the bottom of the 10th. Nolan, you want to walk us through that a little bit?
Well, I was hoping he threw me a first pitch fastball, and he did, and I hit it pretty well, and we ended up winning the ball game. It was fun.
It's easy as that. Yep. Awesome. So now you guys have another game here coming up in about a couple hours. Super emotional game, now clinching going to state. So once you now have clinched going to state, what's the mindset now going into this next game at 4 o'clock?
Yeah, that's a big game. The first one was a big one, but this game is just as important when you look at a 3 or 4 seed. That's a big difference. Getting the 4th bid this year in this region, that you don't want that 4 seed. You're going to have a pretty tough matchup at state being the 4 seed. So that 3 seed's very, very valuable, and in the draft too.
Yep. Nolan, what are your thoughts there?
Kind of exactly like Dutchie said. We kind of knew coming into this one if we were going to win the first game, of course, we got to beat Mint Lake. They're always a tough team, and we've had some really tough battles with them over the last couple years. But we knew if we won that first one, we're really going to want to come out and try to win that second one as well.
Absolutely. I mean, just a large game. Congrats on the win for you guys today. Both of the Gross boys stepping up when we needed it, right? When we needed it here. But yeah, large game coming up too. Draft positioning is always important. Anything else that you guys want to add here too before I let y'all loose and hang out with your teammates a little bit?
One thing I do want to say, when I walked into the ballpark this morning, you guys do a lot of things right away. I talked Nick's ear off all morning about field looks sharp. I love the grandstand. The field looks in really good shape. Everything's edged. You guys got a really nice ballpark and organization, and it shows. You can tell you guys do things the right way. So kudos to the Arlington A's.
We appreciate that, yeah. That's certainly a lot of guys put in a lot of hard work, much more than myself for sure. I will admit with that. But
Nick
yeah.
did say the same thing, by the way.
Okay, yeah. That's all right. But anyways, congrats on the win, guys. Good luck in this upcoming game. Good luck in state after that, too, and it was a pleasure chatting with both of y'all.
Thank you. Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Lucas.
Yeah, for sure. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Dorton and Doetkott Debate Podcast. We have a new player joining us. You probably are a little confused with the jersey, but don't worry. He is a player for the Sueur Braves. We have Brandon Colbert. Brandon, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Well, thanks for joining us. We'll ask you a few questions here. So you were mentioning this is your first state appearance, 20 years on the team. How does it feel?
Well, I didn't necessarily cry after the game, but I was pretty close. I've been waiting a long time. I've been playing Townball for about 20 years, so this is my first state tournament, so I was pretty excited about it.
What are some things that you think you'll expect before you get there, or some things maybe people have told you that how it's going to feel like?
Well, I just know the atmosphere, for one. You're playing in front of a lot of fans, and the fact that it's being hosted in our area is kind of a big deal, so we're going to get a lot more pull from the area. And that's kind of one of the things is playing in a big atmosphere like that. I think that's going to be a whole lot of fun. I've never been part of having a draft. Like, we're going to have to pick some guys off these teams that aren't going to make it. That's going to be kind of different.
Get to play a version of town team fantasy football.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm pretty good at fantasy, but I don't know. I'm going to have to do a little research on some of these guys here a little bit more than I do for fantasy.
Check their home and away splits.
Oh, yeah. I'll check their ERAs, their whip, and, all that good stuff. And
their
we'll
FIP.
Yep, we'll make some information-based decisions here and not just do it on impulse, just based off of names.
Absolutely. So going into state, obviously not many people. I don't know if there's any guys on their team that have been there before or not. But if not, what's kind of the mindset? You have a game at 7 o'clock for seating, but what's the mindset now going into a state with a bunch of guys that maybe haven't been able to experience that before?
Well, that's kind of the thing. I mean, we're like a raw team, We're just going in there and we're just going in with a good attitude, and we want to play good baseball. We know that when you get to that level, you're going to see the best pitching in the state. You're going to see good defense. You're going to see good hitters. So we kind of have to act like we have that mentality too, that we're going to have good defense, we're going to have good pitching, we're going to have all that good stuff, and hopefully that translates into wins.
And do you change, what you've been doing this year has been working obviously well, being able to get to state, which is fantastic. Do you change how you play it all going there, or are you just going to kind of ride what's been working and let's see what happens?
I think we kind of just go with what we've been doing. I mean, why change something that's, not broke?
Yep.
It helps that we have good pitching on our team already. Obviously, with the draft and stuff, you can pick up another guy that, is going to be a good starter. But we still have faith in the people that are on our team, and you want to try to use our guys as much as we can. But if we have somebody that's, proven themselves, we're going to want to use them too. So,
what would you say the biggest strength of your guys' team is?
I would probably say our resiliency. I've been on past teams where you get down early in a game and we kind of just lay down and just give up. And this team, I haven't seen that at all this year, and that's been huge for us.
Yeah, that's huge.
And the fact that we've been getting crucial hitting in tough spots and games, that's big too. There could be games where you have the bases loaded with one out and you can't get a guy in, and you're like, well, that sucks.
Like the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, exactly. They've actually been playing better than us, so at least we got something to hang our hat on there and some hope there. But just stuff like that. I mean, just having confidence in the guys that we put out there, and obviously we had a big pickup with Bryce Novak from Gus Davis. He's been smashing the ball lately. And he's been coming up huge for us too, and Cole Pingilly are two big hitters in our lineup, so they've been doing their jobs. Anything
else you want to leave us with before we let you go today? Get ready for your 7 o'clock game.
Well, I got cruised back to Lee Sueur because I forgot my jersey, which is why I'm representing the Lee Center Braves shirt. It's a Brave shirt, but not the one I wanted to bring.
That's something I would do, Brandon. That's totally something
I agree.
I think maybe if I had the same number, they might consider letting me go out there. But I mean, like we just say I was a drafty or something.
This is our City Connect uniform.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no. I mean, that's about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, Brandon. Best of luck in your game tonight. And as you go on in state 2, we'll be chatting with you later.
Well, yeah, I appreciate you guys having me, and I can't wait to come back and do a long podcast with you guys. That'd be kind of fun.
Open invite whenever.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, folks.
Thanks, man.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Arlington Baseball Park here. Dorton and Doetkott Bay podcast. Joe Lukas from the Jordan Brewers joining the show. How you doing?
Good.
Well, thanks for joining us. Obviously, you got a big game coming up at 7 o'clock here. Yeah, anytime. Yeah. So talk to me a little bit. Obviously, this isn't your first rodeo having a spot in state clinch for you.
No.
So what is the mindset going into this game, going into state, having been here before, and a lot of the guys having experienced that too?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is do the small things right. I mean, that's if you look at any good, talented, successful Townball team, they do a lot of the small things right, and their core guys show up. And we have a core 11, 12 guys I've been playing with for years and years and years, and we always show up. That's the biggest thing, and that's the difference between a lot of successful teams and teams that struggle at times.
Yeah, I've always said, obviously, you guys are much better than us. I've never beat you guys, but I've always said against Jordan, I'm like,
if you don't make errors, you got a chance. As soon as you make a mistake, you're done, because they don't make mistakes.
Yeah, yep, and that's the biggest thing. Is we pitch well. I mean, we're not going to hit you out of the ballpark, but we pitch well and we play good defense.
Yeah, exactly, and that goes a long way.
It does.
And then the message to the younger guys that maybe haven't experienced this as much, what are you kind of telling them? Is it just more of like a watch what we do, this is how we do it, or what's that message to them looking
No,
like?
I mean, just enjoy it. It's, you talk all year. I hate to say people take games off. We don't take games off.
Yeah.
I mean, and going back to what I just said, the core guys show up. Yep. I think we rostered 24, 25 guys all season long, and you try to find games for the younger kids to play. But at the same time, when your core 9 show up to every single game and they want to play, they want to win, it gets tough on their end. But it's something that we preach all the way from the youth level in Jordan all the way up through the high school is playing defense, pitching well, throwing strikes, not walking people, not booting the ball around. It's just stuff like that it keeps you in ball games. Just like Nicholas said, is if you're not making errors, and other teams are booting the ball around, you're gonna make them pay eventually.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so now you guys host state this year. Have you played in a state tournament that you guys have hosted yet?
Yes, I played in 14. 14 we hosted.
14, and then 09 here, right?
Yep, and 09 here as well.
Okay.
Yep.
So I mean, I guess just explain what that's like playing in front of the home crowd at the state.
It's
I mean, I
awesome.
know you guys travel well anyway.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's something, in 14 especially, in 9, because I mean I was in college here, and the amount of work and the amount of effort and how the community comes together just to make something successful, just running the tournament and then also wanting to play and trying to play and trying to win in front of your home crowd. It's a lot. It's fun. It's just tell the guys just take it all in. That's the biggest thing, because our hill's gonna be full, grandstand's gonna be full. I won't be surprised if there's 1,000 people there. And it just take that all in and enjoy those moments. Especially the younger kids that maybe have not played in front of a crowd like that. I've played in front of some pretty large crowds in my career. So it's super fun. It's super fun.
So going into state, do you kind of have a mindset of don't fix what isn't broken and kind of go with the same game plan, or does it kind of vary, obviously, who you're playing, how that all kind of works like for you?
Yeah, just stick to our game. We always, before almost every game, I always yell at the guys, we do the small things right, we're going to win the game. And it's just keeping that mindset, just doing those things right, is we're going to stay in any game that we play in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So obviously with this being the region tournament, and obviously you guys are already set, just sidebar, I'm also from Jordan.
Yep.
Grew up, the Brewers were my favorite team of all time.
Right.
And now it's very ironic that I play against you guys
Yeah.
twice a year.
Yep.
What does it mean playing for your hometown team now? I know you spent some time in Arlington here.
Yep.
But
Yep.
what does it mean now to be able to play for the
So,
team that you probably grew up being a fan of too?
I was. I mean, just like you said, Jordan, you spend time, you're chasing foul balls, you're down there. I mean, I grew up watching Charlie Larka. I grew up watching, the Beckman's father, Ron Beckman, and just spending the time down there and watching. And that goes back to what we just talked about, watching how to play the game the right way. And it just, it's in our blood, right? It's just that's what we do. Culture is there, and so I out of high school, I went to St. Benedict, played St. Benedict. My brother was out there. I wanted to play with my brother, so then my brother moved to Arlington, came to Arlington. We were super successful here, and then I traveled around, did some things playing baseball, and then got drafted by Jordan. When we lost here, I was in Arlington, got drafted to Jordan to go play up in St. Cloud in the state tournament, and then I just knew that it was my time. I was living back in Jordan, so it's like, got to go back. But to answer your question, it means the world. Like, I mean, now my kids are on the hill watching me play. My wife, my parents, my grandparents, it's a lot of fun. And I'm also playing with, the kids I grew up playing with. I played baseball with Stephen Beckman since T-ball.
That's
what I mean?
awesome.
And we've been a lot of places. We've done a lot of things because of baseball, and it's really cool to give them a high five. When we're on the field together.
Played baseball and stuff, he says. It's not like you got drafted by the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
And you kind of just mentioned it, but like with your family and whatnot, now, I mean, your kids are old enough, you can, or Max is 5.
Yep, Maximus is 5.
I mean, you can share this with him now, right? I mean, what's that like?
So honestly, the coolest part, so 19, we won it, okay, up and down. No, I was, I got the MVP, and my son was 2 at that time. And to be able to grab him, I actually grabbed him or after the game, and they announced my name when I won it. And I brought him out there with me, and he actually grabbed the trophy.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then that was, I mean, I'll never ever forget that moment. And but he loves it. He's obsessed with it. He loves coming down. He calls it his favorite baseball field. Nice. So he sees me getting dressed. He's like, "We're going to my favorite baseball field." Like, no, we're on the road tonight. He's like, "Oh, dang it!" So
Jordan's my favorite baseball park to play
It is.
at.
Yeah, it's we're so blessed to have that field.
So talk to me a little bit. My question that I kind of ask a lot of people that come on the show is people who don't know what Townball is, or you know they ask you about it and they're like, "Oh, is it like slow pitch softball? Is it like a Sunday men's adult league?"
Yep.
And they don't really get it. What's your typical go-to? How you kind of describe Townball to people?
That's a loaded question because there's so much to it. I tried to explain like I said earlier, I had the ability, or I was I went down south and I played some baseball, and a lot of them were like, Minnesota has baseball. It's like, well, not only we have baseball, we have really good baseball, and then the summers, literally, what I talk is like, imagine you play with all your high school buddies, you go to college, you separate your ways for 4 or 5 years, and then you all get back together again, and then you play again, and then you're still playing those same teams you played your whole entire life. It's like about playing. I played against a lot of those people growing up. It's so you get that. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, you got Corey Koski playing baseball with his kids now.
I know.
I mean,
you can't beat that.
I mean, you ain't gonna find that in any other state.
You cannot beat that. It's unbelievable.
So that's kind of the end of this interview here, but is there anything that you wanted to bring up, mention, chat about before we let you go here? Get ready for your game?
No, not off the top of the head. I'm just
Sure.
Thanks for letting me come on.
Anytime.
We appreciate it.
Anytime.
I know
Absolutely.
I've been trying to get on. Maybe I'll come back.
Life happens.
We'd love to have you.
Yeah, we'll get back and maybe we'll chat a little bit longer. Okay, guys?
It's
Awesome,
it's a little busy during baseball season.
It
as
is.
we
Yeah,
know,
we get it.
so-
We get it.
Especially the kids,
Yep.
full-time job, and
Yeah.
raising 2 boys.
Yeah.
But thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good luck to you guys tonight and
Yep.
state.
Appreciate you guys. Yep. Hopefully
Thanks for
we'll see you guys
watching.
down there.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to beautiful Arlington Baseball Park here. We are joined by Arlington A's living legend, Lukas Bullert. How are we doing?
That's a first.
I've
never been called that before.
Well, hey, nothing but the best for you on our podcast.
I appreciate
we speak the
compliment.
truth.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
I'm honored to share a name with you, truly.
Mine's better than yours.
I would
so.
say we
Sure.
can,
Well,
we can
you know.
debate on which
Argument,
which
you know.
spelling is better,
Tomato, tomato.
the C or the K.
Right.
Twitter
But-
poll one of these days.
Right. Oh, we should actually.
Okay.
I think Ernie Steele should throw that out there.
Yeah.
On
See
the
which
Twitter.
Lucas is the better spelling.
Absolutely.
I just
Okay.
think it's funny that between the three, we have 3 Lucases, and they got about 85% of the innings pitched on the air. Our
That's
pitching,
probably-
we got a
that's
pitching
probably
staff
true.
full of Lucases.
That's
That-
right.
That is
The
accurate.
3-headed monster.
Hey,
You could call us a monster.
argument could be had. Argument could be had.
Right. Right.
So now to get to some serious talk here. Talk to me about this season, Arlington, obviously falling short of our expectations, ultimate goal, right, getting the state. But what are some things that you were proud of personally this year and things to build on for next year?
Well, personally, I had my best season at the plate.
I was going to
which
say
doesn't
it. You hit the crap out of the ball. Just
it
say
doesn't say much, but as a team, we started off well, actually.
it. Did.
Yeah.
3-1 in RVL,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
And then we pretty much fell off a cliff from there.
Darn
Yeah.
close to being 4-0, too.
Yep.
But I don't know. There's highs and lows throughout the whole year.
Yep.
We have a good chemistry as a team. We are limited on depth for sure. Obviously, that shows.
Yep.
But I don't know. It's a fun group of guys, and we know how to have fun. We know how to play baseball. It's up and down all year.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
You play some pretty good teams
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of good baseball players.
We faced a lot of good pitchers this year.
We did see a lot of good pitching. And like we say every year, we need to see the cage over the wintertime, and it seems like it never happens.
Right.
But
Yeah. Yep.
that would help us.
So this is year number what for you? This was year number
I
what?
can't remember if it's 13 or 14.
My
'Cause I
goodness.
was, what am I, 28? And I signed when I was 14. So I don't know if that's 14 or 15, so somewhere in there.
In that ballpark?
I could figure it out, but
So what have you seen personally changing from when you first started as a 14 or 15-year-old to where you are now when it comes to your baseball career?
Oh, I feel like the teams are getting younger.
Yeah.
I do. I
No,
remember when
you're
I
just
joined.
getting older.
Well, that's true.
No,
I
you're
didn't
right. You're
think
right.
of it
You're
like
right.
that.
You're
No,
right.
I honestly, I feel like the teams are getting younger and more talented. Baseball's changing, of course, but I remember when I first started, I felt, and I was little and young, but I felt like the teams were 30 years old and older, every team, out there. But it's kind of fun to see the talent. There's a lot of talent within this, 20-mile radius. But biggest change, though, really, it's a good question.
And maybe it could just be something for like yourself, like when you first came in at 15 years old.
Oh, man.
I guess maybe a better way to phrase it, I've asked it a few times, is coming, you hear the phrase like your welcome to the league moment, kind of. Did you ever have that when you first came into Townball where you're like, yeah, this is something completely different?
Yeah, it's way different than high school ball.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you ever have that moment for you?
I don't know about a specific moment. One time, so when I joined the A's, and there were some legends on the team yet, all the Doses and Bryce Eggert.
And your brother was on the team, right?
Yep, Michael was on the team. A lot of good players, Matt Pick. I remember one time I swung, and I hit the catcher's mitt, and I put the ball in play yet. And I, started to run. I, looked back at the ump, and I'm, saying, I hit his glove, and got back to the dugout, and I just got my butt chewed out for complaining to the umpire, even though they knew I hit the mitt. They're like, you're too young to do that. Just run out the ball or whatever. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to sit here and not say anything, as a 15-year-old. But, no, I don't know. It's when you're not playing baseball all spring, in high school, when you just pick up a bat in May, I haven't seen throwing, playing, it takes a little bit to get in rhythm.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see that. Guys who are playing college ball all winter, practicing, they're ready to rock come season. And we don't have any college ball players on our team.
The first season, after I was graduating and didn't play high school ball, I'm like, oh, my God, I'm so not ready to play right now.
Takes a little bit to get going, but it's fun. I love it. It's the best time of the year.
Speaking of, welcome to the league moments, Lukas gave Henderson a welcome to the league moment.
Oh, yeah?
Once upon a time.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh, he's talking about the no-hitter.
Oh, you're darn right I am.
Talk to me about that.
You're darn right I
man.
am.
I don't even remember too much about that. Was that
It was a double header.
Yep, it was
on
here.
a Sunday.
Yep.
I think it was technically a 7-inning no-hitter because I think we 10-run him, but Luke, he shoved.
I did all right. Honestly, one thing I remember about that, and we could cut this out of here if you want. I chugged a beer right before the game.
Okay.
Nice.
Loosened you up a little bit.
Yeah, I just remember seeing a couple other guys do that. Not just that game, but other games or whatever. I'm like, I'll give it a shot. And might have been underage, might have been old. I don't even remember.
We were of age, yeah.
Were we? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were
Oh, yeah.
21.
Oh, yeah.
I forget how old I am.
Right, yep.
Old.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably that's the one thing I remember about that game. Otherwise, I wasn't a strikeout pitcher. I mean, I maybe had a few strikeouts, but it was just throwing strikes and letting the defense play. We scored, obviously if we 10-run them,
Yeah, we had a good game.
Yeah, that was one of my better games pitching. But my best game pitching, I think, was against a team that just played out here tonight, was Waterville. And that was down at the what the heck is that stadium
At
called?
ISG?
ISG, thank you.
And until
I got
Got shot out.
drilled and laid there and cried.
it was like
so
100
bad.
velo off the bat. Where did it hit you?
The crowd.
Just in the arm, luckily. Luckily, that only hit me.
Yeah,
in the
that
arm.
is a tough way to end a game.
It was a
End of
walk-off.
season.
I could say maybe I cried because we got walked off.
No, it wasn't the end of the season. We had a game after that.
We did have a game
We
after that.
lost to Minnesota Lake.
Yep,
after that.
that's right.
That's right.
But no, honestly, I think I pitched better that game than I did the
Yeah,
no-hitter
you
I
were
threw
pitched
against.
well that game. It
Henderson.
was like, what, 2-1 or
2-1,
something like that
yeah.
game?
Yeah, I think-
something like that.
Yeah.
If I knew how to run bases, we might have won, but
There were a couple mistakes that we made. I mean, I think I struck out 3 times, so I mean,
I remember
didn't help at all.
I remember Scotty Holmquist. I think he had like a big double or something.
Yep.
And then like an inning or two later, they hit the single that goes through his legs and rolls all the way to the wall because the turf.
Turf, yeah.
Yeah, nobody was used to that turf.
Right, yeah, we don't play on turf.
I was playing with, we all had metal cleats, and I totally slipped out of the batter's box the first time.
Different playing surface for sure, but that was a good experience.
So you've played a few different positions. You pitch, catch, play some outfield. Dabbled in some first base.
I did
Yeah,
not.
that's right.
I did a little bit this year.
Well,
I
then
have
first base.
in other years more, but I'll just play wherever really at this point.
True utility man.
We don't. Well, and most people on our team, I think you could put in a lot of places, but because we need to, because if we are short a guy, it's like, well, okay, you got to go play here, and that's just part of Townball,
Yeah, I like to say I don't play every position. I attempt every position.
Yeah, right. Well, that's accurate because I'm
Except
not
catcher.
just a Gold Glover in every position I play. I'll just go play it, you know. But I do enjoy first base when I can go play it. We've had good first basemen. We got one on team in Luke Dose.
Yep.
But typically he's got to play 30. He's got to pitch. So I'll go play.
There you go.
Why not?
Why not us?
If somebody's got a first baseman's mitt I can borrow, I'll go play.
Heck yeah.
So what's so great about Townball? What's your favorite thing about
camaraderie? What we're doing here after the game here tonight.
Yep.
Did these people know that we're here? Is this going to be?
Sure do.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So the region playoff just finished. This is got a whole 2 teams sitting down there right now, just drinking beer, hanging out. Yeah. That is my favorite part about it. And you've been in it long enough, most players. Yeah. Now the young guys are coming in, but you know everybody, and you've seen them. You see them twice a year at least, and it's definitely, we got it pretty good here in Minnesota because I know other states don't have what we got here. So this is a lot of fun, and being that state baseball is this close, just over in Green Island, Belle Plaine and Jordan. That's cool too.
And next year really close too.
Yeah. Yep.
So a couple more questions for you before we finish up. One of them being, I ask a lot of our guests this, but everyone has a little bit different answer, so I do like asking it.
Yeah.
When you have people asking you, what is Townball? I've gotten it before. They ask, is it like your slow pitch beer league softball team? Like, what is it? What is your typical go-to when someone asks you that?
No, it's competitive. I mean, softball is probably competitive too. I'm not trying to hurt any feelings, but it's a lot of. There's a lot of players. A lot of college baseball players and some minor league players. Former
MLB players.
Right. Yeah. It's competitive baseball. We've seen a lot of guys this year throw mid-80s. We don't see that every team, but there are a lot of good athletes. It's good baseball, and it's. I wouldn't say it's comparable to D1 or D2, but there's definitely teams here that are just as good as some college teams. So, no doubt.
Absolutely. Last thing for you. Anything you want to leave us with? Any words of wisdom or something you want to chat about before we let you go?
Boy.
And if not, that's okay too.
I don't know. Just that. Love the sport.
Yeah.
Love the A's. Love this. Love this field. This organization. It's fun.
The beautiful mow job in the outfield today was.
Yes.
I believe that was your work.
I cannot take all the credit because Michael mowed 99% of the year. My brother, but I did mow this week because he was out of town. But yeah, it's if you haven't come out to watch Townball, man, you're missing out.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yep.
Anyways, folks, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.